What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the most terrifying planets ever discovered. Look at some of these planets, bro. Now, obviously, this is like cartoon, but we're about to figure out some crazy planets that have like 1 billion degrees that like kill people or something. I don't even know what we're about to see. A couple of weeks ago, I reacted to one of this guy's videos about the most terrifying things in the universe, and a bunch of people liked it. A bunch of people said, hey, DJ, we need to do some more learning, educational videos. So we're about to learn, and we're about to be educated on the most terrifying planets that we've ever discovered, dude. If we lived on these planets, we'd probably be...
Let's start with the ones that are terrifying and work our way towards the ones that are hellish nightmares.
Okay, so he's gonna start off with terrifying planets, and then as this video goes on, like once we get to the #1 scariest planet ever, it's gonna be like nightmare fuel. So it's gonna be scarier and scarier. Let's go. Let's learn about these planets.
Number 7, the burning ice planet. Gliese 436b is one of the most terrifying planets you will ever hear about. A hot Neptune gas giant that orbits very close to its star and is about 4 times Earth's radius. But let's talk about what makes this planet so terrifying. It is believed that the planet's entire surface is covered in extremely hot ice, capable of reaching temperatures of...
Hot ice? Now, this doesn't make sense because on Earth, ice is cold, but that just opened my eyes. Ice can be hot on other places. Oh my God, dude, imagine you get to this planet. I mean, obviously you're not gonna get there, but imagine you get there and you're like, oh, dang, this is ice. Let's go ice skating. You step on it and you melt. Oh my God, like your foot just,
above 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I know that sounds confusing and makes no sense, but don't worry. I just said that. Lucky for you guys, I know how to read. So let me break this down a bit further. This bizarre superheated ice is formed by the planet's immense atmospheric pressure, not by cold. But instead of me just rambling off facts and telling you about these terrifying planets, let's make this a bit more fun. I will be placing you on each of these planets so we can see exactly what would happen to a human under these extreme conditions.
Oh, so this is gonna be fire. He's not just gonna be saying, oh, in 2016, we discovered a planet that had 800. He's gonna show what would happen if we were on these planets, bro. I think we're just gonna die. Like on all of these terrifying planets, I think once we step foot, we die. So let's see what happens.
Let's begin. You are now in a modern spaceship and are just about to enter Gliese 436b's atmosphere. A terrible decision. Instantly, the spaceship begins to overheat and its structural components start to deform, thanks to the planet's atmosphere being primarily made of heated helium and hydrogen. Around the 30-second mark, things can go one of 2 ways. The ship could be crushed from the increasing pressure, or the entire ship could vaporize from the blazing heat.
What? So if you're inside of this ship and you fly to this planet, you could just get vaporized, like your whole body and the whole ship? Even though the ship is made out of like steel and stuff? Oh my God.
Congratulations. You survived anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds. But for the sake of the video, let's say you were in an indestructible spacecraft and managed to safely land on the planet's icy surface. What would you experience then? As you step out of the ship, all the moisture in your body instantly flash boils, then vaporizes, leaving you dead within a couple of seconds. Let's try that again, but this time you're wearing an indestructible spacesuit. As you step out of the ship, you see the glowing ice-covered surface, and you feel the spacesuit vibrate from the high winds. You look up and are greeted with a dark black-red sky. Powerful lightning storms light up the atmosphere, revealing the enormous and violent storms all around you.
Tornadoes?
Honestly, it's a pretty chill experience compared to what's to come. Number 6.
All right,
the
number
terrifying
6.
gas planet. HD 80606b is yet another horrifying planet.
Who the hell names these planets? HD 80606b. Someone must have like woke up one day and they were like, this one is HD. What the?
A hot Jupiter gas giant with a wildly elongated orbit that is about 11 times larger than Earth's radius.
It's 11 times larger than Earth's radius. I don't even know what radius means, but that looks huge.
The reason why this planet is so scary has to do with its incredibly wild temperature swings, as it goes from deep space to nearly touching its star. When the planet is closest to its star, the temperature goes from around 450 to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
2,000 degrees. Okay, 450 is already like really a lot. Like whenever I cook food, like in my oven, normally I'll set the oven to like maybe 300 or maybe like 350. And like when you open that oven, if you've ever opened an oven, you know that that heat comes and hits you. If you put your hand on that oven, your hand's gonna fall off. And that's only 300. Imagine 2,000.
in just 6 hours. Now, I know it's hard to visualize these numbers, so let me put it in a way we can all understand. 450 degrees cooks a beautiful pizza.
I just said that. Is he in my room? I just said that.
While 2000 degrees cooks a terrible pizza. Hope that helps. But let the simulation begin. You are back in a modern-day spaceship and are about to enter the planet's atmosphere. Of course, you will be entering the planet at its hottest. As you enter, the ship's speed instantly begins to accelerate at incredible speeds thanks to the planet's gravitational pull. Within seconds, the outside of the ship's temperature rises over 7,000 degrees, which begins to erode the craft's heat shield. Around the 30-second mark, you begin to descend past violent storms, high winds, and violent jet streams as pieces of your ship melt and vaporize. Around 60 seconds, the hull begins to deform and eventually implode due to the ever-increasing atmospheric pressure, which means you have imploded as well. Congratulations, you survived an entire minute, a new personal best. Number 5, the disappearing planet. Koros 7b is one of the hottest rocky planets ever discovered. A rocky super-Earth, approximately 70% larger in radius than Earth.
Did he just say the disappearing planet? Is this a planet that disappears?
Now, what makes this planet so terrifying is its extreme proximity to its star, as it is 60 times closer to its sun than Earth is. It is also tidally locked, meaning that the same side is always facing its star, creating a lava ocean on one side and a dark rocky oven inferno on the other. The planet reaches temperatures up to 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is so hot that its rocky surface is literally evaporating into space, slowly shrinking the planet. Here's what would happen if you were to enter the planet's atmosphere with this state-of-the-art spacecraft. Instantly, the craft's heat shield reaches over 7,000 degrees and begins to erode rapidly.
Yeah, you're
Within
dead.
20 seconds, the craft's outer shell begins to crack and melt, destroying insulation and causing the inside of the ship's temperature to quickly rise, baking you alive. Within 30 to 45 seconds, the entire ship is shredded to pieces, then quickly vaporized with no traces of its existence left behind. But let's say you were in an indestructible ship and managed to land on the planet's surface. What would happen then? As the hatch opens, your eyes, skin, and organs would vaporize in seconds before you ever felt a thing. Let's try that again, but this time you're in an indestructible and highly advanced spacesuit. As you step out of the ship, you're instantly blinded by the sun, since it's 360 times larger than our sun from Earth. Luckily, you would be able to walk on the lava ocean since molten rock is incredibly dense. It would feel like walking on burning tar that clings to your feet with every step you take, turning the fun outdoor adventure into an exhausting workout. But if you were lucky enough to spawn on the dark side of the planet, you would actually be able to walk around freely on solid ground. Well, at least when you're not busy being tossed hundreds of feet into the air by the planet's violent and powerful winds.
Bro, I didn't even think about that. Some planets have crazy wind, like 150,000 mile per hour wind. Like you step, you fly away, like even crazier than a tornado.
Number 4. WASP 127b. WASP 127b is yet another incredibly horrifying planet, a gas giant that is about 15 times Earth's radius. One of the many reasons why this planet is so terrifying is that it currently holds the record for the highest winds ever recorded.
Oh man.
For reference, the highest non-tornadic wind speed ever recorded on Earth is approximately 250 miles per hour.
See, that's crazy. 250 mile per hour wind. Think about driving in a car. Have you ever been in a car where you go 100 miles per hour? That's like really fast, right? Imagine that like double, almost tripled. That's how fast the wind is going, bro. You get picked up and you die. Let's see what this
which is strong enough to send a human hundreds of feet into the air. Neptune, which has the highest winds in our solar system, has winds that reach as high as 1,500 miles per hour, faster than the speed of sound, and almost
faster than the speed of sound. So like, bro, if like the speed that you're hearing this after it comes out of my mouth, the wind is faster than the air coming out of my mouth. What?
Times faster than the winds of Jupiter's red spot. Winds this high would obliterate you on contact, reducing your body to a cloud of vaporized tissue. But get this, WASP 127b has a recorded wind speed of over 20,500 miles per hour. A regular person hit by a wind force this strong would be completely erased from existence instantaneously. But okay, let's say you manage to enter the planet's atmosphere with a modern spacecraft. Within 5 to 10 seconds, the craft's heat shield is destroyed
Yeah, you're
by the
dead.
thick metal-rich
You're
atmosphere.
dead. I mean, it's gonna push. Your spacecraft could be 1 billion pounds, and it's the wind is still gonna just.
15-second mark, the craft and everything inside is torn apart and swept into the
You're
jet
literally
stream.
dead.
The craft and your body are shredded, scattered, and absorbed into the winds, erased so completely that it's as if you were never there. But just for fun, let's say you were a storm chaser with tech so advanced, you could fly into these storms in an indestructible spacecraft and stepped out in an indestructible spacesuit. Well, you would instantly be
Yeah.
taken by the wind and crushed inside of the suit from the extreme G-forces, separating soft tissue from the bones. Obviously, the suit still needs a bit of work. Number 3, the Iron Rain Furnace.
Oh my
WASP
God.
76b is a terrifying hot Jupiter gas giant, infamous for its molten iron rain and
Whoa, that looks sick. So that's actually what it looks like? It rains iron? Did he just say it rains molten lava and iron? Like it rains lava?
winds that reach over 10,000 miles per hour. The planet is massive, nearly twice the size of Jupiter's radius and around 20 times Earth's. The planet is also so close to its star that it's tidally locked. One side is forever scorched by intense heat, while the
Wow.
other remains a dark, hellish landscape lit only by its molten iron rain. But let's say you were placed in charge of a modern spacecraft and enter the planet's atmosphere on its sunny side. The craft will immediately report temperatures hotter than molten lava. Around the 3-second mark, the heat begins to destroy
3
the craft's
seconds
heat
and you're
shield
dead.
thanks to the iron vapor in the atmosphere.
Wow.
And around the 5 to 10 second mark, the craft's entire structure begins to melt, which includes you. Around the 20-second mark,
Imagine melting to death. Like imagine seeing your skin melting and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
you're an adrenaline junkie looking for your next fix. So you'll be skydiving into the planet and gulping down some air. Within a fraction of a second, you're incinerated. Now, just because I know you're wondering, let's say you skydived on the dark side of the planet away from its sun. Within a fraction of a second, your skin and eyes flash boil. Your lungs and organs collapse under the atmospheric pressure. And as your body is ragdolled across the sky, molten iron rain sears through your crushed body.
Bro, I thought it was weird when I said imagine melting to death. Imagine being boiled to death. Like when you boil water on the bro, oh my God.
Within 1 to 2 seconds, the scorching winds shred you into tiny pieces, which quickly sizzle into vapor carried away by the storm. So,
Wow.
a bit better this time. But let's say you exited the craft wearing an indestructible spacesuit and
Okay.
decided to skydive into the planet.
I
What
think
would you
you're dead
experience
instantly.
then? As you free fall through thin gas clouds, your descent quickly increases in speed. A few minutes later, the sky shifts into a glowing orange haze as you continue passing through thick vapors in the atmosphere. Out of nowhere, your body is violently spun and tossed in random directions as supersonic winds slam into you. That's when the noise of the storm roars all around you, as if you were inside a massive hurricane. Lightning storms arc overhead, exposing the alien metallic clouds in the environment. Around this point, you will see the infamous molten iron rain spreading as far as your eyes can see. As you continue to fall deeper into the atmosphere, light fades, sounds disappear, as you are submerged deeper into the reflective ocean of metallic hydrogen. Once you finally reach the planet's core, you will be completely surrounded by what looks like a glowing fog made of superheated matter, your final resting place. Number 2, the planet
Number
being
2.
eaten alive. WASP
Huh?
12b is one of the most unique and terrifying planets ever discovered.
That
This
looks
is what
like
the
a
planet
damn
looks like.
watermelon.
Disgusting. The reason it looks so ugly and deformed is that it's currently in a death spiral with its star, slowly being eaten alive. A visible trail
Wow.
of gas can be seen feeding the nearby star.
It's getting eaten by its main sun.
Close proximity to its star also means it's tidally locked. So one side is forever scorched with radiation and heat, while the other is forever scorched with radiation and heat, but also completely dark. The planet is a hot Jupiter gas giant that is almost twice the radius of Jupiter and nearly 22 times Earth's. But let's get to the good stuff. Let's say you were to enter the planet's atmosphere on the ugly deformed side. Well, surprisingly, you would still be pulled towards the planet rather than the star, since at this range, the planet's gravitational pull is much stronger. The moment you enter, the craft's heat shield begins to glow from the intense heat, and the temperature inside quickly begins to skyrocket as well. Around the 5 to 20 second mark, winds as high as 1,000 miles per hour slam into the craft, vaporizing the craft's shielding at incredible speed. Then around the 20 to 60 second mark, the entire ship is fully consumed, shredded apart into molten debris as the metal becomes liquid before everything eventually vaporizes.
That's crazy. Like if you actually did that, you would just be like deleted like instantly, and there would be no trace of you. It would be vapor.
Let's try again, but this time you've entered the cheat code Indestructible Spacecraft, and instead of exiting at the planet's atmosphere, buoyancy point, or core, you will be exiting here, right at the center of the planet and its star. Time to find out whether you would go towards the star or towards the planet.
You get sucked up into the star.
And 3, 2,
I think you get
1,
sucked up.
Go. Okay, try again, but this time we're shedding the bulk and heavy weight of the ship, only wearing a light and indestructible spacesuit.
You're still gonna get sucked into the star.
Place your bets.
That star is so powerful, bro.
2, 1.
Same thing.
Go. Yeah, obviously you head towards the star again. That should have been really, really obvious. Number 1, the Glass Storm Planet. HD 189733b
it looks so
is
cute.
A hellish planet that is worse than any nightmare you could ever possibly dream of.
Bro, how could this be a nightmare, bro? That looks fire. That's the coolest planet ever,
The planet is enormous, around 15 times Earth's radius. From the outside looking in, it appears to be a larger version of Earth, covered with beautiful tropical beaches.
Yeah.
But I guess it's time to find out what would happen if you were to enter this planet's atmosphere. You are back in a modern-day spacecraft and have just entered what you thought was a vacation getaway. Instantly, the ship begins to glow due to the high heat of the atmosphere. A great sign that you picked the right day to go to the beach. Around the 5-second mark, the craft's heat shield begins to warp, melt, and vaporize. 10 seconds in, supersonic winds slam into the craft as molten glass particles in the atmosphere shred the craft to tiny pieces.
So unlike all the other planets, this planet actually has glass flying through the air. Dude, that would hurt like a million-mile-per-hour glass. You would die instantly, but you get chopped up.
Within 20 to 30 seconds, the tiny pieces of the craft and you are completely vaporized and carried away by the wind. It turns out that the planet isn't a giant ocean of water. It's almost entirely made up of scorching hot hydrogen and helium, reaches a whopping 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit, has stronger winds than Neptune, and even rains molten glass sideways, making it a horrible planet to vacation to. So you're probably wondering, why the hell is the planet blue if it wasn't meant to have any visitors?
Yeah.
Well, that's because the planet's atmosphere contains tiny particles of glass, which are great at scattering blue light, making it the worst scam in the known universe.
It's a scam, bro. It looks blue and it looks beautiful, but it's because all the glass is reflecting the blue light, so it looks nice until you die.
And another reason why it deserves the #1 spot. And yes, just like all gas planets, the simulation always ends the same. Instant vaporization anywhere on the planet, followed by suspended in the dark metallic oceans.
What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to the most terrifying things in the universe. The thumbnail shows a bunch of stick figures and stuff, so I don't know if this is gonna be like scientific, if we're gonna learn something. If we are gonna learn something, welcome to science class. Let's go. Let's figure out what's so terrifying about the universe. Let's go.
Number 10, space junk. As it turns out,
so I think he just said we're gonna start with the scary ones and then eventually get to the most terrifying things. So the first one is space junk. What the hell is that? Like space is balls? What?
Now, our planet is not the only thing we treat like a giant trash can, since space is slowly becoming a giant landfill as well. There are currently millions of pieces of man-made junk in Earth's orbit, with over 30,000 of them being over 10 centimeters long.
Look at this. This is a cat. There's a pizza. Bro, there's actually stuff in the universe. How do you put junk in the universe? Did they put a bunch of junk on like a spaceship and then just throw it out? Or did somebody like have like a strong arm and they just threw it? I don't know.
Long, or around 4 inches. Now, the reason why this is so scary is that the number of junk is only growing. But this really shouldn't worry you, since I'm sure we'll eventually get around to cleaning it. which usually only happens when it becomes a big enough problem that our government is forced to do something about it. You see, the growing amounts of space junk are becoming a major problem for space exploration and travel, and NASA has already had to course correct 32 times since 1999 to
Damn, I didn't even think about that. So when the spaceships are going up, they might accidentally run into like some junk in the space that we threw up there, bro. What the hell? Why are we putting trash in space? It's already bad enough if you go to like a big city, you see trash all over the ground. Bro, now we got trash in space? Oh my
avoid
gosh.
satellites and space debris. Now, you're probably thinking, this is an issue that you will never have to worry about, since you never leave the house, let alone plan on traveling to space. But as it turns out, the space debris might just come to you. There have been many reports of large pieces of metal, spaceships, and satellites landing on people's property and homes. But I'm sure the majority of the pieces go unreported since they most likely land in the ocean, where they blend in with the rest of the trash.
Wow.
Number 9.
So stuff is falling from space every day and it could just randomly fall through your house? Oh my god, this is crazy. All right, number 9 is going to get scarier.
As we leave Earth's orbit and begin to look further out into the universe, we quickly begin to discover all sorts of terrifying things. But before we get to those, I want to focus on nothing. I literally mean nothing. You see, there are vast spaces in the universe that don't contain anything at all. No planets, no stars, no moons.
Yeah, I heard that most of space, like 99.9999% of space, is just space. Nothing. Like there's nothing. Nothing, like it's just blackness.
Across them. Unless, of course, you were blessed with being an introvert, since we are completely immune to this weakness. Now, I know these large numbers are very hard to grasp, so let me just show you what this all looks like. Here's an illustration of the Virgo supercluster, which contains around 100,000 galaxies, including our home, the Milky Way. Now, let's zoom out and take a look at the areas here. These are cosmic voids. This particular one here is called Boötes Void, and is one of the largest voids in the known universe.
Wait, so we're right here in one of these dots, but one of the dots is actually like billions of planets. So, or billions of galaxies. So this is the whole, who the hell went out here and figured out that we had all this? Come on, bro.
Spanning around 330 million light years wide. For perspective, the entire Milky Way galaxy, which is home to at least 100 billion planets, is 100,000 light years wide.
That's our galaxy. It's 100,000 light years.
Number 8, dead galaxies. Dead galaxies are galaxies that have run out of cold hydrogen gas, which is necessary to fuel stars and create new ones. These dead galaxies will be the first to become completely dark and lifeless, leaving behind a cold and lonely cemetery. But for now, these galaxies appear red as they burn through their last remaining energy that they will ever have. Now let's get to the terrifying part. All galaxies, including our own, will eventually run out of energy, and it's hypothesized that the entire universe eventually will as well. A stage that is referred to as the Dark Era, and it's speculated to be the final state of the universe, leaving behind a cold and dark universe where light and energy cease to exist. Number 7, planets. NASA estimates that there are at least 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and over 6 sextillion planets in the observable universe.
6 sextillion? What the hell is that?
That's 21 zeros, by the way. Not that it even matters, since none of us could even come close to comprehending that. So instead, people try to visualize this by saying that there are more planets in the known universe than grains of sand on Earth. And for those of you that have never been to the beach, take it from someone who has. We still can't comprehend this number either. Now, we don't have to look far to find some truly terrifying planets, since we have a few of them here in our own solar system. But let's just take a look at the scariest one.
I never thought there was planets that were scary, bro. I guess I don't know anything about like the universe and stuff. This is actually teaching me some stuff. If you're learning, shout out to you, but I'm learning too.
Jupiter. This planet is an absolute nightmare, and is scary enough to just look at. Jupiter's a giant gas planet that is 1,300 times larger than Earth and is covered in violent storms, as I'm sure you already know. But really quickly, here are just a few of the ways Jupiter would absolutely mop the floor with you. Radiation exposure, dead. Atmospheric pressure, dead. 400 plus mile per hour winds, dead. Struck by lightning, dead. You overheat, dead. You freeze, dead. You decide to breathe, dead. But if Jupiter's not scary enough, our galaxy...
You decide to breathe and you're dead on Jupiter. Bro, we're never gonna be able to go to Jupiter, bro. That is sad, bro. I'm pretty sure we're trying to go to Mars or something. That's crazy. I want to go to Mars, dude. Going to a different planet would be so
He has
sick.
many other horrific planets to choose from, like planets that constantly rain molten iron or molten glass, planets
Really?
that are entirely covered in ice, planets that are entirely covered in lava, planets that are entirely covered in water, planets that are
Oh.
just completely dark, planets with giant hurricanes the size of Earth. Nope, that's just Jupiter again. I told you that place sucks. Number 6, aliens. Ever since we were young, Hollywood has conditioned us
This dude just said aliens? Oh, aliens.
to be scared of aliens.
The
So it's no
hell?
surprise that this one would end up on the list. Movies like
Aliens are real? I mean, I believe aliens are real, but they're not real in the sense that like they don't look like the green characters or whatever that they always put in the movies and stuff. I think aliens are more like just other creatures.
Alien, Signs, Predator, Cloverfield, The Thing, and of course the GOAT, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, all made aliens incredibly violent and terrifying. And when Hollywood finally attempted to create a friendly and relatable alien, all they got right was his body type. And it definitely worked. Scientists say that it's only a matter of time until we find the existence of aliens. But here's the thing, right? An alien or an extraterrestrial being is simply just something that is living that didn't originate on Earth. So this could be something as small as bacteria, but if
Right.
we're lucky, it could be a fish or mammal-like creature.
Right, that's the thing. Damn, that's like a rat with humongous biceps. He's been in the gym. But yeah, that's the thing. An alien could literally be a bacteria on a different planet. It could literally be a little cell. It could be a little bug. Or it could be, you know, when most people think of aliens, they think of like a whole civilization just like us. But no, it's very unlikely probably that we find that in our like solar system. But dude, like we could probably find some cells and stuff.
But of course, this could be something infinitely more terrifying. And that's what makes this one so scary. We
True.
really don't know what's out there. Now, thankfully, we all know that first impressions are everything. So I'm hopeful that aliens will just take a quick look at Earth's orbit and decide not to visit, since we're obviously
Same.
very dirty. Number
do not
5,
wanna-
gamma ray bursts. Gamma ray bursts are the most powerful explosions in the known universe, releasing more energy in a second than the sun would in a billion years. This can
What?
occur a few different ways. Either when a star goes supernova, when two neutron stars collide and form a black hole, or when a black hole swallows a neutron star. These massive bursts of energy are 1,000,000 trillion times brighter than the sun and could
Is that ever gonna happen to Earth?
last anywhere from 10 milliseconds to several hours. Now here's what makes them so scary. The light produced can't be seen by the naked eye. So if Earth were to be hit by one of these powerful gamma ray bursts, we would never see it coming. And depending on
just
how
die.
close the source of the gamma ray burst is, it would determine if life on Earth would survive. At a distance of 6,000 light years, it would cause mass extinction due to the deadly amounts of radiation. But if the gamma ray burst occurred further away but still managed to get a direct hit on us, it could still be catastrophic, since it would
Wow.
heavily damage all of our satellites and technology, shutting down the Wi-Fi. Now, thankfully,
we
Earth
would
is
die.
not really in danger of such an event, since our sun is far too small to produce this type of explosion. Instead, our sun will just grow so large that it slowly swallows the entire planet. Number 4, colliding galaxies. With billions of galaxies traveling
What?
through the universe, some
Galaxies can bump into each other, but what would happen?
are bound to bump into one another.
I
As a
just
matter
said
of
that.
fact, our galaxy will be one of them. The Milky Way is scheduled to crash into our neighboring galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy. But
Really?
that collision won't be for another 4 to 5 billion years.
Oh.
Hopefully long after humans have left Earth and populated other planets. But let's
Right.
talk about what makes colliding galaxies so scary. As the two galaxies begin to get close to one another,
What's
their
gonna
gravitational pull will bring them together. Now, surprisingly, planets crashing into one another would be extremely rare, since galaxies are mostly empty space. But what would happen is planets would be rearranged and shuffled around, knocking them away from their current solar systems and creating new ones. So any planet with life on it might be stuck with a new neighbor. Here are a few galaxies that are currently merging as we speak. Number
Wow.
3, super
There are galaxies merging right now. That's crazy. So if there are people on those galaxies, or not even just people, but if there's any life on those galaxies, They're in a merging. Oh my gosh, dude, space is crazy.
Supernovas. Supernovas are the largest explosions that humans have ever seen. They can outshine their entire galaxy for a few days or even months, and can be seen across the universe. A supernova can occur a couple of different ways. The first one is when a massive star runs out of nuclear fuel and collapses, causing it to go supernova. The second is when a white dwarf star gains enough mass by siphoning it from another nearby star, causing it to collapse. And
why is he drawing these weird ass faces on these planets, bro? What the? This is crazy, bro. What if planets had faces? That'd be cool.
And explode. But let's talk about what makes supernovas so scary. When a star goes supernova, it obliterates everything in its path and is powerful enough to destroy all life on any planet within 30 to 50 light years. For perspective, our sun is only about 4.2 light hours away from our furthest planet, Neptune. Even though supernovas are one of the most deadly events in the known universe, easily obliterating every living thing in their way, at least they make great screensavers. Number 2, black holes. Black holes are easily one of the most terrifying things in the known universe.
Dude, I've always wondered about black holes. I've always heard about a black hole, but I never understood what it is. Isn't it just like, it's just something that just sucks up stuff and like you don't even know what's on the other side?
It's mostly due to the fact that we don't fully understand how they work. But here's what we do know. There are 2 different types. The first one is called a stellar mass black hole and is roughly 3 to 1,000 times the mass of our sun. These are created when a large star goes supernova and collapses in on itself, creating a black hole. The second type is a supermassive black hole and can be millions to billions of times the mass of our sun. Also, we have no idea how these black holes are formed. And when I say we, I mean I couldn't find an answer using Google, got frustrated, and just came to the conclusion that the answer simply doesn't exist. But the most common theory I kept seeing is that a black hole must have swallowed another black hole, making it grow much larger. If there's anything I have learned while scripting this video, it's that astronomers and astrophysicists never give a simple answer to anything, so them resorting to the classic answer of, you eat, you grow, is quite comical. Since I know firsthand, that is not always the case. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what makes black holes so terrifying. Well, for starters, one of these supermassive black holes sits right at the center of our galaxy, gobbling up pieces of the Milky Way as we speak. Another reason why they're so creepy is simply
we have a black hole in our galaxy?
For the fact that they are completely invisible. As I'm sure you know, this is because black holes have a force of gravity so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. So the only way we can see where they are in the universe is by seeing how they interact with their surroundings. But the biggest reason why black holes are so high on the list is simply because we don't know what would happen if you were to enter one.
That's the thing, bro. The craziest thing about black holes is that like you just don't know what would happen if you were in a black hole. Like what's on the other side? Like what? Oh, it's so deep to think about.
Are they just wormholes? Or would you just get stretched out like a giant piece of spaghetti? I'm not kidding, that's the most agreed upon theory. They call it spaghettification. Or could it be a portal to an alternate dimension? We really don't know. Either way, all of these are absolutely terrifying. Number 1, the size of the universe. Hands down, the most terrifying thing about the universe is its size.
True, bro. Like people don't really realize how big the universe is. Hopefully he explains it, but even him explaining how big it is, we won't even be able to fathom it. But let's just see, bro. It's so massive.
Just allow me to present my case. Does this image scare you?
No.
What about now? Exactly. No. Let me show you a few more illustrations before I rest my case. For simplicity's sake, let's start at ground level. This is you. You're probably in your room. Your room is in your home.
Okay.
Your home is here on Earth.
Right.
Earth's home is in our solar system, which has 8 planets. Our solar system is part of the solar interstellar neighborhood, which is part of the Milky Way galaxy, also home to at least 100 billion other planets. The Milky Way galaxy is part of the local galactic group, which is home to 3 other galaxies. The 3 galaxies are all inside of the Virgo supercluster, which has hundreds of galaxies and galaxy clusters. The Virgo supercluster is part of the local superclusters. The local superclusters sit right at the center of the entire observable universe, which spans 93 billion light years wide. But it doesn't end there. This is just what we can see with the current technology we have, and we have no idea how much larger the universe is or if there's even an end to it.
Bro, the universe is literally infinite. It just keeps going. That was
But
nuts.
of course, this doesn't stop us from speculating on its size or what could potentially be out there. Are there alien civilizations far more advanced than ours?
I mean, there has to be like a civilization out there. Now, they probably don't look like us. They probably look like this. You know, it's very possible. But dude, with all of this space and all of these planets, billion, trillion, quadrillion, million planets, bro. More than that. Like, dude, there's got to be something that's alive, bro. Oh my gosh, that is crazy, bro.
Or alternate reality.
It just makes you realize that like nothing matters, bro. If you're scared of something or you're sad, it doesn't matter, bro. You're just on this little floating rock in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's okay.
With infinite possibilities. Or maybe we're all just plugged into a computer, a simulation. After all, would this not be the best time in our known history to simulate? Or maybe Earth is flat and just like birds, space is not real. So none of this really matters. I guess in the end, it turns out that the scariest thing about the universe is not really up in space, but instead lives here inside of our imaginations.
Right, bro. We just have no idea what space is and what the universe is, so that's what's so scary. Hey, this was kind of fun. If you want me to watch some more learning videos, let me know. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to the most disturbing planets ever found. Look at this one, bro. LHS 11. Is that an eyeball planet? What the? We're gonna learn about some crazy planets that I've never even heard of. Let's go. Try not to get scared. Let's go.
This is a rocky world about the
here's
same
the first
size
one.
as Earth, and scientists recently noticed something very unusual about it. The
This thing's called YZ Ceti B. Who named this planet that? Okay, let's
planet is
learn
sending out a strong and repeating radio signal, which is seen as a glowing umbilical cord connecting it to its star. This
Wait, what? This planet has an umbilical cord? A glowing umbilical cord? Like the umbilical cord that you have when you get born and they chop it off? What?
happens because YZ Ceti B has an extremely powerful magnetic field. It's so strong that it actually crashes into the magnetic energy of its own star. As the planet travels along its path, it pushes right through the electrically charged gas of the star. WASP
That's
121b.
weird. Okay, here's the next one.
This is a giant gas planet, slightly larger than Jupiter, but it is trapped in a nightmarish situation. The most
Really?
disturbing part of this world is its weather. The extreme temperature difference between the hot and cold sides creates unbelievably violent winds that blow at tens of thousands of miles per hour.
Wind? That's 10,000 miles per hour? Bro, let me check how windy it is right now because where I'm at, it's super windy. Look at this, bro. It's windy right now, but it says that the wind is 10 miles per hour. This planet has 20,000 miles per hour.
These fierce winds scoop up the metal gases from the day side, including iron and the exact same materials that make up rubies and sapphires, and violently blow them over to the cooler night side. When these metal gases reach the dark side, they cool down and form thick clouds. This means that in the pitch blackness of the planet's night, there are massive and chaotic storms where it literally rains droplets of liquid rubies and sapphires.
Bro, what? It rains ruby and sapphire? Like gems, bro? I would like to go to that planet and just catch all of it and then bring it back to Earth and sell it and then become rich.
To make this strange place even more surreal, scientists discovered that the water high up in the planet's sky actually glows. In the upper atmosphere,
They have water in the sky on this planet? Dude, this is a disturbing planet. What the? Water in the sky?
the heat is so extreme that tiny particles of water vapor become supercharged with energy. Instead of just
What?
blocking light, these boiling hot water molecules release their own energy as infrared light. We cannot see this type of light with our own eyes, but to powerful space telescopes, the water looks like it is brightly glowing, almost like fireworks
What? This planet has
lighting up the
fireworks?
sky. Gliese
All right, here's the
870
next one. This one's called Gliese 876. Is this one like exploding? Is this an exploding planet? Oh, the next one is the eyeball. Look, okay, we're about to
360.
lock in. Let's go.
This
Let's learn.
planet is often called the Endless Volcano, and if you stood on the surface of this planet, the ground beneath your feet would never stop shaking. This world is
Really?
a rocky planet that is larger than Earth, and
Wait, this is a endless volcano planet? What? Imagine if people lived here, bro. You're just always getting volcano splash.
it circles very
lava
close to
on
a
you.
small star. The real nightmare for this planet comes from a combination of gravity and its neighbors. It is trapped in a massive pulling contest in space. On one
What?
side, it is being pulled tightly by its own sun. On the other side, it is being yanked backward by giant gas planets.
What type of planet is that? It looks like a green apple candy, caramel apple candy,
In
bro.
the same solar system. This constant push and pull physically stretches and squishes the entire planet like a giant rubber ball. Because the hard rocky surface of the planet is constantly being bent and broken by this extreme pulling, the inside is kept completely melted. The result is a world of
Dude.
non-stop and massive earthquakes. It also causes giant volcanoes to erupt all over the planet, constantly flooding the ground with hot melted rock
Oh
under
my
a dark red sky.
gosh.
LHS
All right,
1140.
here's the one that I wanted to see. LHS 1140b. It looks like a freaking eyeball.
This is arguably one of the most disturbing eyeball planets. This is a rocky planet larger than Earth that circles a quiet and small red star, but it is almost completely frozen solid. One side of the planet always faces the star, while the other is permanently turned toward the rest of space. Because of this, the dark side is a massive shield of ice. However, right in the dead center of the side, facing the star, is the exact spot where the heat is the strongest.
Wow, so the sun just blows the heat into the eye. Look at this.
The side, facing the star, is the exact
So that's why it looks like an eyeball, because the sun is just spraying.
spot where
Let's
the
learn
heat
more,
is the
bro.
strongest. In this one specific area, the ice melts into a giant ocean of water that is over 2,000 miles wide. If you looked at this planet from space, it would literally look like a giant eyeball staring without blinking at its sun. The dark center of the eye is the deep ocean, and the white part of the eye is the endless frozen
Bro, so it's just frozen ice and then a big water
wasteland surrounding it. J1407b.
What? Look at this planet, bro. Why? It's the tiniest planet ever, but it's got a bunch of rings. Who named it? J14? Okay, I gotta learn about this.
This planet can be renamed as Super Saturn, or the one with sky-devouring rings. That's because its rings are actually 200 times larger than the rings around our Saturn. They stretch out over 50 million miles wide. To help you understand how big that is, imagine if you replaced our Saturn with J1407b. Its rings would take up a huge part of Earth's sky. The most disturbing thing about this planet is what happens when it moves in front of its own sun. The rings are so incredibly large and thick that they block out almost all the light from the star. If you were on a moon circling this giant object, the rings would create an eclipse that blocks the sun for 56 days.
Wow, that would look cool with the rings blocking the sun, but it would block it for 56 days. Can you imagine having no sunlight for 2 months straight? It's just blackness.
Bro, you would be stuck in total freezing darkness for nearly 2 months simply because the giant rings got in the way of the light.
Wow.
HD 189733b.
Ooh, that one looks cool. How could this be disturbing? This one looks dope. It looks like a freaking like gumball. Like I'm a jawbreaker, dude.
If you were to see this planet from space, it might look like a beautiful deep blue marble, very similar to
I just said that!
However, that's completely deceptive. This planet is a giant gas world, slightly larger than Jupiter, and the beautiful blue color does not come from water, but from an atmosphere filled with silicate, which is the same material used to make glass. In the extreme heat, this material melts into drops of liquid glass. The planet also has winds that blow up to 5,400 miles per hour. This means that instead of gentle water rain, the planet experiences fierce storms where molten glass rains sideways at incredible speeds.
Bro, molten glass is raining at incredible speeds. Glass? Glass that is molten, which means like hot glass? Ow!
Make matters worse, scientists recently used the James Webb Space Telescope to look closely at the planet's thick atmosphere and found a chemical called hydrogen sulfide. This is the exact same chemical that gives rotten eggs their terrible smell. This means that not only is the planet extremely hot with dangerous sideways glass storms, but the entire world also reeks of rotten eggs. As if that wasn't enough, the planet orbits incredibly close to its sun, so the temperature on the bright side of the planet reaches around 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn, bro. So this cool looking planet smells like rotten eggs and it has molten glass. Dude, now this is what I was expecting when I clicked on this disturbing planets video. What is this planet? Why does it have 2 bigger planets outside of it? What?
This planet's star has one of the most peculiar and disturbing elements ever. It basically pulses like a heart. It physically swells up and then shrinks down very quickly. Because of this, its heat and brightness change over the course of just a few hours. This planet is trapped extremely close to this pulsing star, and because the star is constantly changing size, the planet goes through a particular cycle. The atmosphere is blasted with extreme heat and then slightly less heat over and over again. This creates a messy and unstable sky. It also causes a strange weather pattern called a temperature inversion. Normally, air gets colder as you go higher up, but with a temperature inversion, the air actually gets hotter the higher you go into the sky. At the top of the sky on WASP-33b, the temperature reaches over 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Bro, what?
Proxima Centauri b.
Okay, what is
this
that
This planet
one?
is incredibly famous because it is the closest exoplanet to our own solar system, sitting just over 4 light years away. For a long time, people hoped it might be a second Earth because it is a rocky world that sits right in the habitable zone of its sun. However, the reality of this planet turned out to be completely terrifying. It orbits a tiny red dwarf star that is unbelievably violent. Unlike our relatively calm sun, this little star constantly erupts with massive bursts of energy called stellar flares. These flares are hundreds of times more powerful powerful than anything our sun produces. These violent explosions happen almost daily, blasting the planet with extreme levels of deadly radiation like X-rays and ultraviolet light. During one recorded event, a massive flare actually made the star 14,000 times brighter in just a few seconds. Scientists believe that over billions of years, this constant bombardment of extreme energy has likely completely boiled away any oceans and violently stripped off the planet's entire atmosphere.
Wow.
HD 106906.
Okay, what did he just say, bro? Let me replay that.
HD 106906b.
HD 691210109. What's wrong with these people? This looks like a cool planet. Why would they name it HD 611061916?
This world is a giant gas planet that is about 11 times heavier than Jupiter, but its size
11 times heavier than Jupiter?
is not what makes it disturbing. It's sometimes called the exiled planet, and that's because the unsettling part about this planet is its extremely lonely and unusual location. It orbits a pair of twin stars, but it sits incredibly far away from them. To understand how far, imagine the distance between the Earth and our sun. This planet is over 700 times further away from its stars than we are from our sun.
Bro, what? That planet is 700 times farther away from their suns than we are.
Putting it way out in the freezing, dark edges of its system.
Dude, that's probably the coldest planet ever.
According to the normal rules of how planets are made, HD 106906b should not even exist where it is. Planets usually form from a thick, swirling disk of dust and gas that surrounds a young star. But out in the deep space where this planet lives, there was never enough material to build a planet that huge. Because of this, scientists believe that this giant planet actually formed much closer to the warmth of its twin stars. However, the intense gravity of those stars eventually acted like a slingshot and violently kicked the planet outward. It was nearly thrown completely out of the star system to become a rogue planet. Instead of escaping, it's likely that another random star happened to pass by, and its gravity pushed the runaway planet just enough to lock it into an extreme tilted orbit. It now takes 15,000 years just to go around its suns once.
Bro, 15,000 years to go around the sun once? Look at those suns, bro. That looks like somebody's watching. WASP 12b. Why do they always name these planets WASP? Do they have like a bunch of wasps on those planets?
The scenery on WASP 12b is one of the scariest ever. Even though light hits this planet, almost none of it comes back. That's because WASP 12b is so dark that it reflects at most about 6% of the light that reaches it. However, the reason behind it is what makes the planet really disturbing. WASP 12b is a gas giant nearly twice the size of Jupiter and about 40% more massive, yet it orbits its star in just a little over one Earth day. It is unbelievable.
Bro, every single day it goes around its star? That means you would be 100 years old in 100 days.
Close to it, roughly 1/43 of the Earth-Sun distance. Because of this, the planet is tidally locked, meaning one side is stuck in permanent daylight while the other never sees the star. On the day side, temperatures rise to around 4,700 degrees Fahrenheit. At this heat,
imagine cooking a pizza at 470,000, whatever he said. Because most of the time, people cook pizzas at like 400. Imagine doing it at 4,000. Oh my God, your pizza will be done like that.
And materials that might usually
No, that would be cool. Let's go to those planets, throw a pizza, and then grab it back, and you'll get it.
Like light don't survive in a stable form. So hot rugs of gas basements showed his years left, which in a closer is good on the planet is incredible. You would never experience twixilar, however, of Methuselah sky. TOI exposed kind on this planet at all.
Next one.
TOI 849b.
What? TOI 849b. What is this one? It looks like the moon. Oh my God, look at these two planets. We're gonna see those later. Oh, those look cool.
TOI 849b is the naked skeleton of a planet. It's a candidate Chthonian planet, meaning it may be the exposed core of a gas giant, a world that once had a thick envelope of hydrogen and helium, and then lost most of it, leaving the skeletal remains behind. However,
so this is a skeleton of a planet.
What makes this planet even stranger is its anomaly. A planet this massive should normally grab huge amounts of gas while it forms, because its gravity is strong enough to pull in hydrogen and helium from the material around a young star. That is the usual path toward becoming a gas giant. This planet does not look like it followed that path, or it did, and then something brutal happened. The Discovery team framed two main possibilities. Either it is the remnant of a Jupiter-like planet that lost almost all of its atmosphere.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, because it actually kind of looks like a skeleton.
TOI 1853b.
Wait, what? TOI 185? Why does that look like metal, bro? That's actually a planet?
We could call TOI 1853 the Iron Bullet. This planet is about the same size as Neptune, but it is much more solid and heavy than Earth. This means it is composed almost entirely of heavy metals, and the reason for this is particularly interesting. Scientists believe this planet survived a massive crash in space. It probably started as a normal planet. Then, it was hit by another giant object moving at incredibly high speeds. The crash was so violent that the lighter parts of the planet, like the water, the rocky surface, and the gas, were literally splashed off into space. What is left behind is just a bare metal ball. If you tried to walk on its surface, it would feel like being crushed by a giant invisible hand. Due to its mass, the gravity is much stronger than Earth.
Bro, this is a metal ball, and because it's a bunch of metal, the ball is super strong. It's a strong ball.
Beta Pictoris b.
What is Beta Pictoris b? What the? That looks like a freaking, what?
If you stood on this planet, your body weight would trick you. Beta Pictoris b is a huge gas planet that is over 10 times heavier than Jupiter. But
wow, so I would be like 1,750 pounds.
What makes it unique is that it's spinning at an unbelievable speed. A single day here lasts only 8 hours, and the equator is spinning at over 62,000 miles per hour. Because it is spinning so violently, the outward push from all that speed is physically bending the planet.
Bro, so if you're on this planet, you're gonna be like spinning around. Oh my gosh, I'm never going there.
55
All right, here's
Cancri E. Janssen.
What? 55 Cancri E. Janssen. This is one of the creepiest ones we've seen so far. It's a red ball with like a bunch of like hairs coming
This
off
planet is known as a super Earth, as it's a rocky world like our own planet, but it is much larger and heavier.
Yeah, that looks like countries, bro. Are these countries? Do people live on this?
However, that's roughly where the similarities end. This world orbits so incredibly close to its star that it completes a full year in less than 18 hours.
Bro, 1 year is 18 hours. Bro, you could have a birthday every day.
Because it is so close, the gravity of the star locks the planet in place. So one side always faces the burning star, and the other side always faces the freezing
that is
dark
really
of
weird.
deep space. On the day side, the temperature reaches over 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It is so hot that the solid ground is completely melted. Instead of oceans of water, this planet is covered in a massive global
Instead of water, it's lava.
ocean of boiling liquid rock. For a long time, scientists actually thought the inside of the planet might be made mostly of solid diamond. However, new tools like the James Webb Space Telescope have recently shown a more violent scene. Scientists now believe the boiling lava is actually creating a thick, heavy atmosphere of gas that completely covers the world. That's because extreme heat causes the magma ocean to bubble and release gases continuously.
There's a magma ocean, so their ocean is just a bunch of lava, dude. That's crazy.
It is even possible that the melted rock itself evaporates into the sky and rains down as solid stone when the winds blow it over to the cooler night side. It's basically a real-life version of hell-themed levels in video games. Ogle 2005 BLG 390 LB. Video games.
What is that
Ogle
called?
2005 BLG 390 LB.
Ogle 2005 BLG 390 LB. What? Who thought of that? They must have had so many Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Pop-Tarts that morning, Sugar
This
Rush.
one holds the record as one of the coldest and most empty planets ever found. It orbits a tiny and incredibly dim type of sun called a red dwarf star. However, it sits so far away from its sun that it receives almost no heat whatsoever.
Wow.
Because of this, the temperature on the surface drops to a freezing minus 364 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, bro, the coldest I've ever felt was like maybe -10, and that was like, bro, -364, you're done. You're cooked like that.
At these extreme temperatures, chemistry as we know it completely stops. If this planet ever had an atmosphere, which is the layer of gases like nitrogen or oxygen that normally surrounds a world, the brutal cold would have caused the very air itself to freeze solid. This frozen
Bro,
air...
the air itself is frozen solid. So wait, what? So when you go there, the air, you would actually be able to see the air because it would freeze. So everything would
have then fallen to the ground as a layer of permanent snow. If you were on the surface, you would be surrounded by absolute crushing silence and pitch darkness.
Bro, that's crazy. That is creepy. What's up, dummies? Today's video is going to be crazy because we're reacting to the weirdest planets in the universe. Look at this. Apparently, there's a planet called Satan's Vacation that's like dripping with lava, and then this planet's a literal skull. Now, this is going to be insane. You guys know I love reacting to crazy, creepy planets, learning all about this. So let's go. Let's find out some creepy planets.
All right, let's open the right page. 55 Cancri E.
Okay, so this is number 1. It's called 55 Cancri E. What the hell? Who named it that?
The Diamond Planet.
The Diamond
55
Planet.
Cancri E, also known as Jensen, is one of the strangest planets ever discovered. It is
What?
located about 41 light years from Earth and orbits
Okay.
a star similar to our Sun. Despite the distance, it stands out because of how extreme and unusual its properties are. The planet orbits incredibly close to its star, completing one full year in just 18 hours.
Wait, what? So every 18 hours on this planet, it's a whole year? So you would have a birthday every 18 hours? That would be dope, bro. I'm trying to move there.
This extreme orbit exposes it to intense radiation and heat with surface temperatures estimated to exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius,
Never mind.
hot enough to melt solid rock. Scientists believe much of its surface may be covered by vast oceans of lava, constantly reshaped by powerful volcanic activity.
Bro, they have, instead of oceans like we have, they have oceans of lava. That would actually be cool. Like, if we were able to swim in lava, I think that would actually be cool, being able to swim in the hot.
55 Cancri is very likely tidally locked, meaning one side of the planet permanently faces the star while the other side remains in complete darkness.
Oh, I heard about that before. Yeah.
This creates extreme temperature differences and may drive intense heat circulation across the planet. What truly makes this planet unique is its hypothesized carbon-rich composition.
Okay, what did he just say? Does anybody understand that?
Based on early density measurements and the chemistry of its host star, scientists have suggested that the planet may contain large amounts of carbon. Under immense pressure, this carbon could form diamond-rich layers deep within the planet's mantle.
Wait, so this planet has a bunch of diamonds? So if we somehow found a way to go to this planet, we could extract the diamonds and become rich?
This idea led to its nickname, the Diamond Planet, although this interior structure has not yet been confirmed. The planet's atmosphere adds to its strangeness. Observations suggest it may have a thin and possibly unstable atmosphere containing carbon-bearing gases such as carbon dioxide, which could be continually replenished by ongoing volcanic activity. The exact composition of this atmosphere is still being studied. 55 Cancri challenges traditional ideas of rocky planet.
Wait, is that what it looks like on the surface? Like, this is what you would step on? It looks like a burnt pizza.
With molten rock surfaces, extreme
What
chemistry,
the
and a mysterious interior, it
Whoa.
represents a type of world unlike anything found in our own solar system. HD 1897-33b.
Bro, this is the next one. HD 19873b. Who names these planets, bro? This is stupid. If y'all know why they name it like this, let me know in the comments. But this is number 4. The last one was number 5. So he's counting down the weirdest planets. Apparently, number 1 is going to be the weirdest one. So here's number 4.
HD 1897-33b
Bro, that
is
looks
a planet
dope.
that looks ordinary at first, roughly the size of Jupiter, but its environment is anything but normal. Located about 64 light years from Earth, it
Damn,
orbits its star in
64?
just 2.2 Earth days, so close that the planet is a furnace of extremes.
Bro, so this thing goes... So every year is only 2 days on this planet. What's up with these weird planets having so many different years? Like, bro, you could have a birthday every 2 days. That would be so
The strangest
cool.
thing about HD 1897-33b is its violent weather. Winds roar at over 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than anything on Earth, driven by the extreme temperature difference between the day and night sides. But the real shocker is the composition of its atmosphere. It contains silicate particles, meaning the winds carry tiny, solid grains of glass-like material.
Oh my god, bro. The wind on this planet has glass. Like, have you guys ever been outside when it was like pretty windy? I know you have. You've been there before. It's like really windy and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting pushed. Now imagine if that super windy stuff that was pushing you was stabbing you with glass. What the who created this planet, bro?
Imagine a storm where these abrasive particles are blown sideways at supersonic speeds,
I just
a
said that.
destructive force if you could survive the heat.
I just
The
said
planet
that.
is tidally locked, so one side always faces the star, creating a permanent contrast between a day side of scorching heat, around 1,000 degrees Celsius, and a
Damn!
slightly cooler night side. This locked rotation fuels the planet's extreme winds and chaotic atmosphere, keeping the silicate rain in constant motion.
Bro, so it's pouring glass rain too? I didn't even know he said that. It's raining. Oh my god, I almost threw up. It's raining glass and winding glass.
HD 1897-33b isn't just hot, it's a world where physics itself feels alien.
This dude's got the name memorized. He's like, HD 1981833b is not just hot, it's actually very alien.
Between ferocious winds, high-speed silicate particle storms, and blistering temperatures, it's one of the most violent and bizarre planets ever discovered. A stormy inferno that makes
Wow.
Jupiter look peaceful.
Facts.
Toy
All right.
849b.
Bro, the next one is called Toy 849b. Who the hell named it Toy? Do they, like, what is it, raining toys on this place or something?
Toy 849b is
Okay,
one
that's the stupidest planet ever. What is that, bro? That looks like the moon. He's trolling us, bro. This is the
of the
moon.
strangest planets ever discovered. Located about 730 light years from Earth, it's a massive world
730 light years away. Damn, we're never gonna see this place ever, bro.
with a mass around 40 times that of Earth, but unlike typical
40
gas
times
giants,
bigger
it
than
seems to have
Earth?
lost almost all of its hydrogen and helium envelope, leaving what might be a mostly rocky and metallic.
Wait, they have envelopes on other planets? I thought envelopes was like paper, so that means they have paper on other planets? Did he just say
Almost
that?
all of its hydrogen and helium envelope,
Hydrogen and helium?
leaving what might be a mostly rocky and metallic planetary core. This makes Toy 849b unlike anything in our solar system. Most planets
That
of its
kind of looks cool, bro. It's green and blue and brown. That
mass
looks
are
cool.
shrouded in thick atmospheres, but this one is thought to be primarily dense rock and metal, essentially a naked core with perhaps a thin residual envelope.
Bro, this is a naked planet, bro. This planet has no like air or no no sunlight or nothing. It's just naked.
It orbits extremely close to its star,
All right.
completing a full revolution in just 18 hours.
Every 18 hours is a new year on this planet. What is up with these planets having these? I keep saying this every time, but I don't care. That's insane, bro. You would be like, right now, I'd be like 8,428 years old.
Exposing it to intense radiation that likely stripped away most of its outer layers. The result is a planet with a mass between that of Neptune and a gas giant, yet unusually compact, giving it a density far higher than typical gas giants. It may contain thousands of kilometers of compressed rock and metals, heated by both the star and the planet's own gravitational compression. Toy 5049b challenges our understanding of planet formation. How does a planet this massive lose almost its entire gaseous envelope and survive as a dense core?
That looks stupid, bro. What is it? What's his explanation gonna be?
Some theories suggest it's a failed gas giant or the remnant of a much larger planet that was destroyed by its star's proximity. GJ1214b.
Oh my god, dude! I thought he said DJ. I was gonna say,
Placed
bro.
under a star, it orbits
What
at
the fu-
record-breaking speed.
Okay, what did he say?
GJ12
GJ1214b. Okay, we're just gonna act like he said DJ. Let's call this one DJ. DJ1214b. Let's see what it's like.
14b. GJ1214b is
Oh, it's blue. That's my least favorite color, bro. I think blue is such a lame color. Don't get mad at me. I just think blue is overrated. But yeah, why does it have a dot, bro? This planet got a freckle. This planet has an eyeball. It's DJ1214.
a water world candidate that defies our ideas of what a planet should look like.
Wait, what?
Located about 48 light years from Earth, it's a
48
super
light
Earth
years.
roughly 2.7 times the size of our planet and about
Okay.
6.5 times as massive. But the real weirdness isn't its size, it's what might make up the planet itself. Scientists believe GJ1214b could be covered almost entirely in water or water-rich materials, but
Bro, what? The whole planet is water. How is that even possible? If the whole planet was water, wouldn't the water just... Because think about it. The planet's in the air right now, right? Let's use my face as a planet, right? This is that planet floating in the air, right? If it was all water, wouldn't it just fall down into space? What? This is cap. They're lying. I need to see what
at
he's...
extreme pressures and temperatures with an atmospheric temperature of roughly 200 to 400 degrees Celsius,
How is it that hot if there's that much water?
any water on the planet wouldn't exist as oceans like on Earth. Instead, it could be a supercritical fluid, a strange state where water is neither liquid nor gas.
Supercritical fluid? What the heck is that? It sounds like something they would say in a hospital.
Imagine a planet where the oceans are a dense, high-pressure mist spanning the entire globe. The atmosphere adds another layer of weirdness. Observations suggest it could be a thick, steamy layer of hydrogen and helium over the water-rich interior.
So it's just a bunch of steam on this planet, like you're cooking some food? What?
Possibly mixed with steam, methane, or other exotic molecules.
What?
This creates an alien greenhouse effect that traps heat and transforms the outer layers into a pressurized, murky, metallic-like environment.
So it's just like a big old pot that's boiling. Like this whole planet is just a big ball of water that's boiling something. What the heck?
GJ1214b is tidally locked with one side always facing its red dwarf star.
Bro, the sun of this... So this planet has a sun and it's red. What? Red and blue? That is literally not real.
But the truly mind-bending fact is its composition. A planet that might be largely water by mass, yet under extreme pressure and heat, forming a world that could look like a dense, steamy ocean under a heavy, misty atmosphere, completely unlike anything in our solar system. This is a planet that challenges our imagination, not because it's hot or cold or massive, but because its entire outer
This is
layer could be
literally
an alien
all
ocean,
water.
dense, pressurized, and shrouded in a thick, mysterious atmosphere.
What the f...
Coconuts 2b.
Yo, who's naming this stuff? That dude was hungry as...
Coconuts 2b is a planet that feels almost lost in space. It orbits its red dwarf star at an extraordinary distance of about 6,400 to 7,500 astronomical units.
What the heck is that? Oh, yeah, I live 4,000 astronomical units away. What the? And why is this called coconuts? Who names these planets, bro? We gotta investigate these people, bro.
Over 160 times farther than Pluto is from the sun. At that distance, one complete orbit takes more than 1 million Earth years.
Oh my God, every year on that planet is 1 million years.
A single year on Coconuts 2b is longer than most human civilizations have existed.
Wait, why is it called Coconuts 2b? Do they have coconuts on that planet? Because that would be sick.
The planet is massive, roughly 6 to 8 times the mass of Jupiter.
6
Yet
to
what makes
8?
it truly bizarre is how isolated it is.
6 to 8.
Astronomers originally thought it was a rogue planet, drifting alone through the galaxy because
Why does it look like that, bro? It looks like, what does that look like? What am I gonna try to say here? Nothing.
so far
Why
from
am I
its star
talking?
that the host barely
Why am I
warms it.
talking?
Its heat comes mainly from residual energy left over from its formation, giving its atmosphere a temperature of about 160 to 170 Kelvin, relatively cool for
Who the hell is Calvin? And why does he have a temperature? Okay, I'm so confused, bro. I need y'all. Sometimes in the comments, you guys help me out. You say like, "Oh no, this is what this means" or whatever. So let me know what the heck who
light
Calvin
years
is.
away. Coconuts 2b's atmosphere may contain methane, water vapor, and cloud layers, making it more like a cold brown
coconuts?
dwarf than a typical planet.
Oh.
Imagine a massive world slowly drifting through near darkness with chemical processes quietly occurring in its
Is he gonna explain why it's called coconuts?
faint, distant skies, all while completing a million-year-long orbit.
Hello?
This is not a planet of storms or lava, it's a planet of extreme isolation,
Hello?
a wandering giant at the edge of its system nearly
Bro, if he doesn't explain why it's coconuts, I'm deleting my channel.
untethered. Coconuts 2b shows that planetary systems aren't always orderly.
Bro didn't even explain it. Okay, if y'all know why it's called coconuts, let me know. This was